Well, you get to the hospital, and it's a mess.
Definitely, big mess.
You had to they actually had to have you put on a colostomy bag.
No. I put the colostomy bag on after.
That was after?
Yeah, that was after. They didn't put the colostomy bag on me right then and there.
Okay.
They went to surgery on me. I had immediate surgery. I had a type of surgery where I didn't go to the x-ray machine. They just had to do immediately surgery right there to save my life.
Okay, so you go into surgery, and initially you had your arm for 12 days?
Yeah, about 12 days. I had to move my fingers and everything.
Okay. You had no idea that you were going to lose your arm at that point.
And right now that I think about it, no, I didn't. And right now that I think about it, I think that they, amputated my arm because I was a problem in the hospital. Because I used to cause trouble in that bitch. You know what I'm saying? But you can go back and ask me a question what you were saying.
No, I mean, that's basically the question. Because you feel to this day that your arm should have been amputated.
Yeah, I feel like, they chopped me off to get me out. You heard me? You know what I'm saying? But it was fucked up. It was fucked up, lad. It was fucked up. I had stitches all the way up there. You can still see where I had the stitches all the way up here. You know what I'm saying? It was fucked up, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't say, me just being, with the type of mentality I had coming up, like, yeah, you bitches cut my arm off, bitch, you ain't had to do that. That's the mentality that I was living in, you know? But right now that I think about it, it could have been true. They say they had contacted gangrene in my hand.
Yeah. Well, because you got shot in the leg, and weren't they trying to potentially cut your leg off as well?
Definitely.
Okay.
They tried to cut my leg off, probably about 2 weeks later. They told me about it. I found out about this thing that they do. They call, you got to go to anesthesia before you go to surgery. There's a thing called anesthesia, and they have this clipboard that they put at the front of your bed, and they tell you can't eat after 12. So if you know you can't eat after 12, bitch, you know you about to go to surgery. So you know what I did? I ate all kind of fucking shit. Ate every motherfucking thing. Bitch, I ain't going to surgery even if you want me to go. You know what I'm saying? And so the doctors came, they doctor team, about 7 to 8 of them come around my bed. Well, Mr. Golf, if you don't do it, you'll suffer, and it's gonna always be a bad leg, and it's gonna cause other problems. And if you're telling us we can't do this, we're gonna just whatever, back off or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And they didn't fuck with my leg. So my daddy came up there. My daddy used to walk every day. And then I got to the point to where I had the IV thing where I could walk and push it. I got the bandana, camouflage bandana around my neck. I'm walking around the fucking hospital, but I'm really exercising, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm walking around the hospital. I might go to his room, might go to your room, or come to his room. Bitch, what's happening? I'm making a hospital a motherfucking, it's a playground to me, you know what I'm saying?
How is your leg these days?
Huh?
How is your leg these days?
How is it these days?
Yeah, is it good?
I could run. Man, him had a race. Ask him. I run my ass
So it's
off.
a good thing they never cut off your leg.
It's a good thing
because it
never
completely
did.
recovered.
It was God though. It was God, bro. Because by me taking my arm off, by them taking my arm off, even if my leg would have been fucked up, if they said it would, because they said it was gonna swell up and it was gonna happen in the future, even if it would have been like that, I was willing to accept it because I wasn't about to just let y'all just cut on me like that. Fuck that.
Well, like I said earlier, you had no idea they're going to amputate your arm because you could still move your fingers and everything initially. Yeah. Describe the moment when you wake up and you're missing an arm.
I woke up and I could tell you exactly how it went. I woke up and I felt funny because I didn't been at surgery before. And they give you this morphine, and the morphine fuck your body up, and you come back, you know what I'm saying? Right? So I felt funny coming up off the morphine, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't really know, but when I slurped up, you know what I'm saying? I looked, and I'm like, my fucking arm gone. I'm trying to feel, and you know what I'm saying? And to tell you the truth, I didn't panic. I looked at that like, my arm gone with the fucking nurse, nurse, and they come in, the doctors explain. Once the doctors came and explained the shit to me, I was like, all right, bet. I ain't got no arm. I ain't look at it like, man, fuck, man, if my one arm is no, I ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? I still had my life.
And you're right-handed?
Yeah, I was right-handed, but you know everything God do, he do it with his own creation. So everything that was basically from my right went to my left. I do better shit with my left than I did with my right.
So you could write with your left in the same way?
I write better with my left than I did with my right. Everything is better. Everything went better.
So you just had an instant acceptance. There wasn't like a panic or a depression or anything else like that?
No, I had an instant acceptance because of what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? The aftermath kicked in, Vlad. The fucking aftermath. When it happened, the adrenaline rush is what kept me going and fuck this bitch ass motherfucker. You know, that kept me. But the aftermath, when it really set in, that's when all the thoughts, the depression, all that came, and that's when I really realized, man, I'm still here. I'm still here. Bitch, you can't take me. That's the mentality I had, man.
Well, yeah, and then, like you mentioned, a couple of weeks later, they had to put a colostomy bag on you.
Nah, back then, now that time, I knew I had the colostomy bag. I knew it. Yeah. Got it. I know I had it on. I had a colostomy bag, a mucus fistula. A mucus fistula, that's this right here. That's like when you gotta spit, like you gotta spit mucus. If you spit mucus out your body, how you gonna do it? You gotta
cough.
Yeah, to spit it out.
And that could mess up the stitches.
Right. So I could have been fucked up because I had internal stitching. So being as though, you know what I'm saying, I had the mucus fistula on me, the mucus used to slide out. Then I had the urinary, you heard me? That would slide out. And I had the colostomy, that slide out. So I was spitting, pissing, and shitting at the same time, every day.
I mean, going through that
but I was still alive.
Going through that level of trauma, you know, you're sitting there, and the worst part, the pain is there. You're drugged up, colostomy bag, you lost an arm. They're talking about taking off your leg. You're stitched up. I mean, did you ever think, like, I just don't want to go on. I want to potentially just take my life at this point?
Fuck no. What the fuck wrong with you?
At all.
Man, I had all the bitches from the project coming up there and see me, man. What's wrong with you? I had, when you come by my bed, you used to basically have to move all the balloons just to see my fucking ass. Man, I was a king in that bitch.
That's what's up.
Fuck no, man. What? The kill? Man, I never kill myself, man. I'm a fucking living legend, man.
That's what's up.
Ever. No, nah. But I understand what you're saying.
Right.
You heard me? And coming from my era, you know what I think it was? You know what I think it was? I think it was the trial and error. That's what I think. I think it was the time where this is what you had to do to be a hard motherfucker. And I always glorified that gangster shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, bitch, I lost an arm. They shot me, but they ain't take me. Bitch, I'm still here. What's up next? You know what I'm saying? All that. So I looked at it like, this what was supposed to happen to me, you know? But it happened and, bitch, I'm living it. You know what I'm saying? As a young man, I was living wild as fuck, man.
Well, yeah, and you said that year that you got shot, 1994, was one of the bloodiest years.
Definitely, the bloodiest year.
Of that era.
Of the era. They probably still don't have nothing right now that could top 94. 94 was bloody. I'm talking about motherfuckers, 2-3 people getting killed every day.